Hi there, I'm Andrea Preciado and I'm going to talk about simulation video games. In this project I'm going to talk about some key points, why and how they work so well, and some examples. First, points to know. What's simulation, virtual reality, VR and VR headsets in general. We're going to talk about immersion and accessibility. So, why do they work? In Peter's Etched book, Lost in a Good Game, he talks about this already created theory for why people keep playing games, and it's three basics: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. So basically, first, having different choices to get to a different goal, to get to the same goal. And second would be making you want to be good at it, like not even just finishing the game, but also master the video game. And relatedness, that is connecting with other people. It can be playing with your friends or meeting new people online. And also, basically simulation video games are all about immersion, making you feel like you are there and experiencing different stories. This doesn't mean that games that are not immersive are bad, but simulation video games are one of the best in this type of thing. Okay, the first game I want to talk about, a childhood classic, make me interested in video games in general, Nintendogs. I think it was first imagined with Miyamoto got his first dog, and it's basically like Tamagotchi, a pet simulation video game, but more advanced for the Nintendo DS. It used almost all the functions the console had, so touchscreen for petting the dog or using different objects, and that it was a challenge in development because they had to make the player say certain things and take into account accents and different languages for the dog to make certain actions. It was created for people not used to video games. Yeah, they don't have the classic formula of completing different levels. Now we're going to talk about one of the most classic ones, The Sims. I think it has already 40 million users. More than 40 million players. It's been running for more than 2 decades, and it has a curious history. The idea first started when the creator got his house burned down, and it used to focus on architecture and creating buildings, but then they created the people that were gonna live in their houses, and they became more complex and finally became the focus of the game. Then I wanted to talk a little bit about Job Simulator because it has our connection with virtual reality and headsets. It's basically about different jobs and interacting with the world and objects around you. Lastly, Hand Simulator, because this one doesn't really follow all the rules of how to make a good video game. A hilarious choice of making the controllers as difficult as possible, so just grabbing any object is a challenge that you can compete with your friends with. Okay, alright, and that's about it. Simulation games have always been very interesting to me, and I learned a lot about the history of how they were made, and I hope for the conclusion, simulation video games have always been interesting to me, but I really liked learning more about how these games were created, and I hope people can understand more about them too and why they are so appealing to a lot of people. Thank you so much.